All right, hello to you. Until we get stable. All right, there we go. Hopefully that's more stable. So, like I tell you guys all the time, this is great therapy for me. Riding around and talking to you guys and doing videos. I enjoy it. The moment I stop enjoying it, I'll stop doing it. Because I firmly believe in doing things that, make me happy. And, hey, one of my neighbors, his house burnt down. I feel sorry for those old guys. It's a triplex, and they their house burnt down. All three of them were up, unrooted, basically. And they come over here and sit in front of their old house all the time. It's being remodeled now. But this message this morning is going to be, or today, I keep saying this morning. This message today is going to be about why is it so hard to break out? Why is it so hard to break out? And what I mean by breaking out, I mean by breaking out from the norm, breaking out from the status quo, breaking out from what everybody else is doing. Why is it so hard? So, before we get into it, let's kick an intro. Plant-based Homestead Prepper, where we make prepping fun. I think I'm gonna create that t-shirt. And if I did, would you guys buy it? Because there's no point in creating something. I'm gonna be the only one around here wearing it. Y'all do understand that, right? What about coffee mug? Would you, if I did a coffee mug, would y'all buy it? I know a lot of folks still drink coffee. All right, so why is it so tough and so difficult to break out? Well, it reminds me of the quote from Harriet Tubman. For those that don't know, if you've been on a rock for like the last 100 years, Harriet Tubman is credited for freeing a whole bunch of slaves. And they asked Harriet Tubman, it's like, golly, Harriet Tubman, you freed a bunch of slaves and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, I would have freed a bunch more. They just didn't know they were slaves. And that is so true right now. I was chatting with one of our subscribers yesterday, and we were talking about how all of us are in the Matrix. Now, I want you guys, if you haven't watched the Matrix in years, I want you to go back and watch the Matrix, especially now that you're starting to become more enlightened and you're starting to see things a little bit different. I want you to go back and watch the Matrix. Also, another movie, I just watched it in its entirety like 2-3 months ago. I had never seen the whole entire movie. Y'all ready for this? The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. I don't know who wrote it, directed it, whatever. But the same things that's going on with Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz is going on with us right now. It's just on a larger scale right now. We are being so bamboozled and duped. And watch the smoke and mirrors over here. And we need Toto to go back there and pull the doggone blind or the curtain from behind the wizard so we can actually see. Because a lot of us are just lost. We lost in the sauce and don't even know what flavor it is. It's just crazy how lost we are. And even I get involved in some of the political rhetoric and buffoonery. I'm like, whoa, hold up, stop, Roderick. What are you doing right now? That is not your lane. Stay out of that lane, okay? Jennifer and I talk about it sometimes. She has one opinion, I have a similar opinion, and then sometimes, she has one opinion, I have another opinion. And I'm like, you know what? This is exactly what they want. They want to divide, keep you confused. They've already conquered. They want you to keep you confused so that you don't see the real agenda. And what's the real agenda? Who knows? It's all about power and control. From my perspective, I could be wrong. But why is it so hard to break out? Why is it so hard to, think about it. Back 200 years ago, it was abnormal for someone to do and use any other lighting than candle. And then Rockefeller came along with, was it U.S. oil? Anyway, with oil lighting, candlelight. And it revolutionized the country. And then all of a sudden, somebody came up with a light bulb. Now I know the person that gets credit for it, but there's, if you do some research, there's That's an argument of who actually created the light bulb. But I'm not here to give you guys a history lesson. I'm just here to make you think a little bit. So, it was uncommon to have a house that had power, electrical power. Now, if you look at somebody who does not have power, we look at them like, what's wrong with them? Let's say somebody gets their power turned off, okay, due to lack of paying the bill, or they may have a problem and they can't afford to fix it. We have been so trained to the point where we will look at that household like they are the blank trash, and you can fill in the blanks. Blank trash. I'm thinking of a few adjectives. And I remember growing up, my mom hates when I tell these kind of stories, but I remember growing up, we used to get our power shut off all the time. We got so good to the point where we had candles and we had oil lamps, and shoot, we would light candles and oil lamps to the point where the whole house would be pretty much lit up. And really, if you think about it, when you're going through a crisis, how many rooms are you really in anyway? You're only in like maybe 1 or 2 rooms, depending on how big your family is. And if you're by yourself, you're only in 1 room at a time. So if you had a candle or if you had a lantern or something, you're going to take that lantern or that light to each room you visit, right? Why don't we do that now with power? Why is it that every light in the house is on? Why is it we've gotten so, and y'all do understand that every time you turn on a light, that's costing you money. Why is it that we've gotten so accustomed and so comfortable with creature comforts that it just doesn't even matter? And we'll leave a light on all night. We'll leave the TV on all night. Like it's not sucking money out of your pocket. Why? Because that's the norm. That's just the way it is. Why is it so hard to break out? Because it's the norm. It's the norm to be on the grid. It's the norm to go to the grocery store every other day. It's the norm to drive and go to work and then drive home and watch the idiot box all night. That is the normal. That's the normancy. That's the normal life. Then you have somebody like, well, I'm not even gonna mention any names. Somebody who's trying to break out and do their own thing. Get them some land, build them a homestead, get off the, stay off the grid. Can't say get off the grid, stay off the grid. Is it gonna be easy? No, it's gonna be much harder. It's gonna be harder now to come off the grid than 50, 60, 80, 100 years ago. Why? Because 100 years ago, people weren't used to having stuff, okay? People weren't used to having plumbing, indoor plumbing. They were used to going out to the outhouse, or they would go, if they did have power, they turn on one light and everybody congregate in that room. And when you leave out that room, you turn that light off. It's a whole bunch of things that we do now that if you go back in history or go back in time, if you were able to time travel, it'd be amazing if time travel was possible. It'd be amazing taking somebody now and putting them back, let's just say, heck, 100 years. I mean, look at everything that has happened in 100 years. I mean, did we have cars 100 years ago? Yeah, but they might have gone, 10 or 15 miles per hour. You had horses that would go faster than, some cars. But look at us now. Good morning. Who is that? I can't read your name. Good morning to you. You go back 100 years, look at all of the technology. You have more technology right now in the palm of your hand than the people who lived the previous 5,000 years. You have more technology, you have more knowledge right there in the palm of your hands on whatever device you're watching me on. Whether it be your computer, your television, even your television. Your television has more technology in it than the previous 5,000 years. Think about that. These are things that people 150, 200 years ago couldn't even dream of. They couldn't imagine having a little device this size that you carry it with you everywhere, that you be able to call somebody who's farther than you can yell. You be able to watch. Oh, this is great. Oh, Queenie, hey. Oh, golly, yes. Praise God, you're walking. Hallelujah. I am so happy and proud for you. And we have definitely been sending prayers up for you, okay? And sending love your way. I am so happy that you're up walking. Good for you. 150, 200 years ago, these people weren't even imagining being able to take around a little device. I mean, my phone is about this big, and that's what we call it now. If anybody had thought of it before, they'd be like, yeah, that's a gadget. That's a device. That's a doohickey. We just call it a phone now because we're used to it. And I remember when cell phones first came out, you couldn't afford them. They were huge. You had to carry around a bag, and then you have a receiver. Now they're getting smarter and smaller and smaller and smarter and smarter. And now we're going opposite. We're like, hey, I want a bigger phone now. I remember when the crave was, you wanted the smallest phone you could find. Now it's getting to the point you want the largest phone that money can buy, right? Oh, wait a minute, let me read this. You have 3 dislocated discs. Oh, God, it's sciatica. Oh, my gosh, you are in some tremendous pain. How did you dislocate your disc? I'm interested in knowing that. Text me and let me know. Or live chat and let me know. So just think about that, And because we have so much technology now, because we're so used to everything that we do, we look at going off grid. Well, I'm sorry, not us, not the people that follow me, and not the people that are in this on this channel, but people outside of this channel who are not preppers, who are not living the lifestyle. They look at folks that want to get off grid as if they're crazy. And we're looking at people that want to stay on grid as if they're crazy. But why is it so hard? It's so hard because it's designed to keep you dumbed down. It's designed to keep you dependent on the system. It's designed for that, okay? And people who run the world, they have spent, millions and millions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to research on things to keep us dumbed down. One thing being the cell phone. We're using it for information. We're using it for motivation to keep us connected. But one of the things that keeps us dumbed down is the cell phone. I don't even know, but I fell backwards down 17 stairs. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, that would do it. That would definitely do it. You fell down back. Did you black out? Did you lose your balance? How did it happen? Oh my God, you hit marble, so you didn't have any give. Oh goodness, I am so sorry to hear that, Queenie. So when did this happen? When and how did it happen? I'm curious in knowing now. So just think about the differences. And it's funny to me, if you take somebody, I mean, we as human beings, we're resilient anyway. It would be amazing to me to be able to go back in time into history. I mean, there will be several places in time I would love to visit, and I don't even know why I got on this time travel thing. I started talking about Harriet Tubman and just kept on going. I would love to go back to the Renaissance period. Would love to go back to medieval times. Fell down the stairs over 20 years ago when I was pregnant with my first child because I blacked out. The baby and I were thankfully not injured at all. Oh wow, so you've been dealing, oh, this is terrible. Terrible, wow. You fell down some stairs 20 years ago, wow. So did it have any lasting effects on you? Terrible. So it would be interesting to me, and I watched a lot of Twilight Zone, and there's one episode where this guy was like a murderer and an outlaw back in you know, I guess the setting was the 1800s. It was the cowboy days. 2 months ago it happened, but us old people just have, well, you know, when you do get older, you do have some silly falls. I agree with that. I don't know. I wouldn't categorize yourself as old, but yeah, when we get older, we have to be more careful, and sometimes the activities of daily living get the best of us. You don't have to be old to have that. You can do that when you're in your 40s, like me. No, not at all. I did break my neck in a car wreck with my husband on Valentine's Day in 1992. He was my boyfriend then. I still have pain and dizziness sometimes. I can imagine. I can truly imagine. Now, let me ask you this. Out of you two ladies that have had falls, are either one of y'all vegans or vegetarians? Because I really like to know how that lifestyle. Because I know when I started eating better, especially when I went on my first water fast, a lot of my pain went away. So I'm just really interested in seeing how your diet is. So let me know. Oh, back to Twilight Zone. This guy was an outlaw, and they were actually hanging him, and this guy disappeared, and he reappeared in like nowadays. It was like, you know, Twilight Zone was 1950s, 1960s time frame. So it was funny to me. And Rob Sterling, that dude was before his time, to be honest with you. The dude that wrote and produced and directed Twilight Zone, because the in-depth of that show, and I know they're trying to bring it back, and I haven't watched the new one. I like the old one. I haven't watched the new one yet. But it was amazing to me that this guy started flipping out. You know, this guy that came from the past to the present, basically, was flipping out. You guys won't even guess why. He was flipping out because of all the noise. We deal with so much noise, especially being in a city. We deal with so much noise that it's second nature for us. I was doing a video call with one of my friends the other day, and she's a professor at a university. So she was walking on campus and talking to me, and I heard all these birds in the background. I was like, golly, you got so many birds in the background. You know, she didn't even notice. She hadn't even heard them until I said something. And she was like, wow, there are a lot of birds out here. She started looking around and everything. She started showing me with the camera. She's like, man, there are a lot of birds, and I never even noticed it. We deal with so much noise all the time, and we don't even realize it's noise. It's just like traffic. You take somebody from 200 years ago and you put them here now, they will go crazy just because of the traffic noise that we deal with, and we don't even hear it anymore. Why? Because it's normal. It's normal for us. And I'm not talking about you folks that live in rural areas. I'm talking about us city slickers. Let's see here. I've eaten vegan. Let me see. Not at all. Broke my neck. Okay, I've eaten vegan, vegetarian, off and on. When I am an omnivore. Oh God, somebody text. I prefer plant-based for most meals, but like meat on occasion. Okay, I can understand that. Love food cooked for my vegetarian brother, but I'm a meat eater and don't eat. Wait a minute. I'm about to stop and read what you guys are saying. I promise I'll read them though. I'm coming up on a red light. I'm gonna be sitting here for a minute. I was sitting in traffic, as you guys can tell. But it would be amazing to me if it was possible to go back in time and just watch how people live, you know, because I think they were the pioneers. All right, so let's see here. Eating vegan and vegetarian off and on, but I am on. Okay, read that. Love food cooked for my vegetarian brother, but I'm a meat eater, and if I don't eat meat, I might eat people. Funny. Oh gosh, my husband and I went to the lake for peace and quiet yesterday. He was so mad because someone started pressure washing nearby. As soon as we got there, I almost cried and was so upset. That sun is so pretty. You know, it is. Once you go up somewhere to depress, and you try to get away, and you hear something out the normal of that environment, it sets you off. It's just like my wife. She has this. I can't remember what it's called, but I used to chew gum a lot, and I used to chew gum with my mouth open. And I didn't, it was just the way I chewed gum. And Jennifer used to get so mad. She had some kind of, I don't know what it's called, something where, and it's not diagnosed, but it has been proven that people do have this, that chewing sounds set you off, So, I mean, I can understand. I understand going somewhere trying to get some peace and quiet, and then somebody start making a bunch of noise. I understand that. It's like my neighbors, sometimes we had this one neighbor, he's like 5-6 houses away. And that dude throws a party like every weekend. It doesn't bother us anymore. But when we first moved over there, I was like, golly, is this guy gonna party every weekend? And sure enough, he parties every weekend. But to each his own. We all have our journeys. We all have things that we like. We all have things that we dislike. So, speaking of likes, give me some likes. And give me, is that what it's called? Miss Phonia or whatever? I'll never be able to pronounce that. Jennifer's getting spouted out because she just swears, but now she has it. I have a goal today. I am trying to put up 10 videos a day, y'all. I know it's going to be a challenge. I'm trying to put up 10 because we have, and I think last time I looked, we had like 700 views to cross over 15,000. It used to take me like a whole week, maybe a week and a half to get to 1,000. Now in my little app, it tracks 5,000 views at a time. So what I'm trying to do, you're sensitive to sounds. Sometimes the letter S people pronounce is too harsh. Wow. So why so many? Okay, this is the reason why I'm trying to do so many. I am trying to I figured nobody's ever going to outwork me, okay? And with me, and Jennifer, I'll tell you, with me, everything is a competition. So I have certain people that I'm trying to catch. Now, they got like 10 years on me. I got certain people on YouTube I'm trying to catch right now who put up like 15, 16, 1,700, 2,000 videos. And I'm just getting started. So I feel, one, I'm behind the power curve. That's number one. Number two, I have less than 1,000 views in order to go over 15,000. So I'm trying to put up 10 today, and I figure if each video could get 100 views today, then that would be 1,000. Plus, I've never had a day where we've gone over 600. So I want to blow 600 views out the water today. So those are my personal goals, and those are just things that I'm trying to do. And people, and I just know for a fact people cannot outwork me. All my life, this has been my this is what I learned at an early age. I was not smarter than most. I was not as physical as most. But the one thing that I knew that I could do that nobody else could do, I could outwork anybody. I was a really small guy growing. Well, I was fat in when I was young, and then I got small because I filled out. I was one of the smallest guys on my 5A Texas football team that started every position. I started offense. I was on all special teams. And I was on defense most of the time. And I was one of the smallest guys. I was like 5'6", 5'7", 160 pounds. But I outworked most. Now, it was a lot of guys that had way more talent. They had way more brain capacity. Mr. Roger, would love to hear you sing. Okay, maybe I'll do another video where you can hear me sing. How about that? You got any song in particular you want to hear? And why do you want to hear me sing? Who told you I could sing? Jennifer is the singer, okay? I'm just a player. I didn't mean it that way. I mean like the player. I play around with songs. I play around with music. I've never taken music serious. Wow. Just like my husband. He was a little guy, but he was great at football and basketball, and he's a workaholic. Yes, I know people can't outwork me. I can't out-earn most people. But what I've done is I just outworked them. I know I can't. and I see things differently. And, you know, and early on in life, I understood that I was kind of a slow learner. Not stupid, but I was just a little slow at catching on to things. So I would always have to do my homework like twice, 3 times just to get it. And a lot of times I didn't get it. And I developed a personality to the point where everybody liked me. And it used to bother me when I would meet somebody or I'd get to know somebody and they wouldn't like me. And it would bother me. Now I don't care. I don't care if people don't like me or not. You know, I got some trolls on here already. And we just getting started. I'm like, golly, I can't wait till we get to like 10,000 subscribers. How many trolls will we have? And I think that's a motivator for me. I'm trying to see how many trolls, because I know I put out good content. I know I have a lot of life experience that can help people. And I'm like, who would come in and instantly not like my video? I can put up a video. Matter of fact, as soon as this goes live, somebody's gonna come here and not like the video. My daddy was a workaholic. He set records nobody can beat. Okay, like what? Because now I want to beat those records, if it's possible. if it's humanly possible. And I'm like this. You already got a blueprint of life. If somebody else, I mean, because we don't really have to recreate anything, or we don't have to create anything. It's pretty much all been done. Like, for example, I'm trying to set up a system where we're gonna buy houses every 2 to 3 years. We're gonna rent those houses out. We're just gonna keep doing that until we get to the point where we have, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 houses, whatever. Other people have done that. Matter of fact, one of my real estate mentors, he showed me that strategy. And I was like, well, dog, if other people have done it, I just believe this. If anybody else has done it, you can do it. I don't care what it is, because you already got a blueprint. Because remember, things are built 3 different ways. First it's built in your mind, then it's built on a blueprint. That's why I tell you guys all the time, write down your goals. Because the moment you write down goals, it becomes real. If your goal is in your mind, it's just a good idea. Bottom line, if a goal is in your mind, it's a good idea. The moment you put a goal on a piece of paper, it becomes a blueprint. It starts that goal to becoming a reality in your life. And I know I've been talking like 20-something minutes for you guys to get that one nugget right there. Write down your goals. Now I did write down I want to do 10 videos today, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I think I posted like 2 or 3 already. This will be like 3 or 4, the 3rd or 4th one today. But which I'm gonna end, because this is getting really, really long, and I'll just come back in and do another one. But the title of this was, why is it so hard to break out? It's so hard to break out because we live in a normal society, and what we have taken to be the normalcy is not normal. Okay, thank y'all for being here. I'm gonna shut down and then come back in, and then I may sing for Queenie. How about that? Y'all come back in real quick.